The obstacle is the way. The obstacle is the way. If you have grasping or avoiding, people say, oh, that's not spiritual, or oh, that's taking me out of my meditation, or oh, that's harshing my mellow, or it's ruining my vibe, or it's bringing me to lower consciousness. Maybe, unless the obstacle is the way. Unless you can bring compassion and peace and presence, radical acceptance to the grasping or the avoiding. People say, I have unwanted feelings and thoughts. Yes, they're messing with my meditation, they're ruining my peace, they're harshing my mellow, they're lowering my consciousness. Maybe, but if the obstacle is the way, then the unwanted feelings and thoughts are the thing to which you bring your compassion, your radical acceptance, your peace and your presence. You bring that to the unwanted feelings and thoughts. You bring that to the grasping or avoiding. And then the obstacle is the way. The obstacle is your vehicle. So you keep saying over and over again, if you want to do the exercise with me, the obstacle is the way, the obstacle is the way, on the in-breath, on the out-breath. Alter your intonation, your pauses, your stress. The obstacle is the way. The obstacle is the way. The obstacle is the way. Or the obstacle, pause, beat, 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 is the way. You can even match it to the inhale and exhale. Your mind is going to want to wander onto avoiding and grasping and avoiding. It's going to want to move onto some unwanted feeling or thought. It's going to want to move to doing mind. It's going to want to move to desire, aggression, attitude, attachment, agenda. It's not going to keep with the obstacle of the way. You're going to keep saying it over and over again, but it's going to keep fighting you. And this is the rest of your life. You just keep saying, the obstacle is the way, the obstacle is the way, the obstacle is the way. And then, as soon as there's something, you don't even have to know whether it's unwanted feeling or thought or grasping or avoiding. You know it's got to be one of those, or maybe it's some kind of shame or regret or self-image or prediction or trying to get control or judgment. Whatever it is, all those are unwanted feelings and thoughts. So you just go back. They are the way. They are the way. They are the way. They are the obstacle. They are the way. They bring you back to the way. What is the way? Taoism is the way, right? That's the way. Can't describe it. It's infinite, formless. It's the bardo. It's the emptiness. It's the spaciousness. It's the compassion. It's the peace. It's the presence. And whatever gets in the way of the compassion, the peace, the presence, the bardo, is what brings you back. The call, the trial, the return. To the three stages that Carl Jung identified in stories all across space and time. But also, I would say, it's the journey we go through. We're called to allow confusion. If we reject that, then we enter the trial with aggression, agenda, attachment, arguing, unwanted feelings and thoughts, grasping or avoiding, all that during the trial. And in the return, that's usually when we come into our conscious awareness. We're usually not conscious for the first two stages. In that third stage, we say, oh, I'm grasping and avoiding, I've got expert mind. And we say, I'm going to go to beginner's mind, I'm going to go to faith, I'm going to go to acceptance, I'm going to go to radical acceptance, accepting myself and whatever thought and feelings arising. That's how I'm going to end my cycle. Yes, judgment's the third, not the fourth, but that's the end of you. In the fourth, you are no longer you. You dissolve, your boundaries are lost, your direction is gone, your unity is restored, you're entering the formless. You can say that's at death, you can say that's at sleep. Let me advise you, let me suggest to you, it's happening very often each day, in my opinion. It could be in the form of, where am I? What was I doing? Or, oh, I'm running out of time, my last thought is this agenda, or this viewpoint. Usually it's Karpman's drama triangle. Started in the call in the trial perhaps, but in the return, in that judgment, in that harvest, in the fall, that's where it's like, oh, I'm the persecutor, or oh, I'm the victim, or oh, I'm the rescuer, or oh, I need to find a rescuer. And that is the victim, and that is the persecutor. All limited qualities and codependent relationships and worrying about your future, worrying about your past, even racism, discrimination, even self-doubt, even looking down on yourself. All that stuff is coming up if you just bring radical acceptance, if you just bring beginner's mind, if you just bring faith and acceptance into that, then you enter the bardo seamlessly. You don't need to fight dissolving, you don't need to try to send some message across the gap. You're just like, It's all good. And frankly, if you're going to send a message, the message is the obstacle is the way, or call us to confusion. That's the other one. Call us to confusion. If you accept confusion, you don't need expert mind. You don't need to believe any of your thoughts. So any arguing, attachment, agendas, any of that stuff that comes up during the trial, you're okay with it. Because you bring a beginner's mind to it. You're bringing compassion to it. You're bringing faith to it. You're bringing acceptance to it. You're bringing radical acceptance. And then you start bringing that Bardo emptiness quality, that yin receptivity, into those yang elements, right? The call. First it's yang, then it's yin. That's the birth, that's the spring. Then the trial, total yang, double yang. No yin, oh gosh, the trial. It really needs that receptivity. And then in the fall, the yin quality is coming in. Yang is still on top, but the yin quality is coming in. You're about to be all yin. So, let it go. The obstacle is the way. The obstacle is the way. The obstacle is the way. Grasping or avoiding, okay. The obstacle is the way. If you see anything getting in the way, if it's called an obstacle, if it's an unwanted feeling of thought, it is the way. It is the implement to the way. It is the tool by which you return to the way. The way isn't just being peace and present, joyful, compassionate. It's also the part that isn't that, and that is invited to come back to that. And you are the vehicle for the invitation. The unwanted feeling of thought is the vehicle for the invitation. The unwanted grasping or avoiding, that's the vehicle, the invitation to return to the way, to return to receptivity, return to the Bardo, return to being full of beginner's mind, full of compassion, full of peace, and full of presence. It's just a cycle going through it. So, to remind yourself, the obstacle is the way, the obstacle is the way, the obstacle is the way.